when I was a kid, I think we were really imagining ourselves in these kinds of situations. We might as well have been at a fort. We might as well have been camping in the woods, and we were just in our backyard, and there's like a little drainage ditch that goes past our house. That might as well have been the Cumberland River. And so just kid imagination, we'd already put ourselves there anyway. So I can imagine how much more exciting it would be to visit a place that is through and through correct and accurate to the time period. Got started about 5 or 6 years ago into reenacting, but I think the seeds were planted before that. I had a history teacher my senior year of high school, and it taught me that history wasn't just names and dates. It was stories of things that actually happened to real people. I got connected with Brian Cushing at Locust Grove and saw some of the things that he did, and he was a young guy like myself, and I was really impressed with kind of what he was doing at the time. From that, I kind of landed in a place where, you know, I wanted to do something that I didn't have to go far to do. And since I'm from Kentucky, I don't have to go far, and realized that there's a lot that happened on almost some of the ground that's, you know, 10 minutes from where I live. I read this stuff in a book, and I'm like, I know exactly where that is. You know, there's a Kroger's there now or something. But it's just incredible that these dramatic stories happened day after day after day. If you're willing to do the reading, this whole amazing history will open up to you. And so that's kind of how I got hooked. I started doing some of the reading, like the Draper manuscripts, the Shane interviews in the Draper manuscripts, and was just really taken by the drama and the things that actually happened to people that were very close by to where I lived. And then I started to kind of find myself in those stories, to kind of start saying, what would I have done? What would that have felt like for me? Because these are still people, they're still humans, they're just removed a couple 300 years. And so I started doing just a long hunter persona. I think that's most everybody in Revolutionary War starts as a long hunter. You know, as I started going to some events, I started meeting more people, I started learning about more sources. As I started flipping to the back of those sources and seeing what was referenced here, and then my library just grew and grew and grew and grew. The really cool thing about the time period that we do is that it involved so many families. It was something that it was the family unit that was experiencing a lot of these really dramatic situations, and that was really exciting to be able for me to connect with visitors, because they can see that it wasn't just the men, the old men or the young men, that there was families that were wrapped up in this. And that a lot of times can be a point of connection for a visitor when they see my wife or they see my 3-year-old son. I would say definitely be patient. Your persona is definitely a process. So don't feel like you have to have it all together before this event. So I got to get this, I got to buy this, I got to build this before this event. Just be patient in the process. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the fact that it's never something that you'll completely get. I think that's something that excites me, is that I won't ever completely get it or master it. Enjoy the skills that come along with reenacting. There's so many of the skills that I have picked up as a result of reenacting, just things that I've made, or just some little topic that I've pursued after reading it. And it's just all these things I would have never known before have all come back to reenacting. I owe a debt of gratitude to these people that came before us. I owe a debt of gratitude to do it correctly, to not glaze over parts of it, and to portray it accurately. And when I do that, both in my research and at an event, I realize that it wasn't easy. It kind of helps me to kind of put things into perspective and say, wait a second, this is real.